Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Transformers fans everywhere, welcome back. LPS, Last Prime Speculator, here to bring you another speculation as always. Today's focus on our speculation will be this photo right here. This photo right here contains Shockwave. Shockwave is going to be the focus of this video. We're going to be focusing on the Dark Cybertron prophecy from the IDW Comics and the Regenerous Ore programs from Shockwave. I think that this possibly could be a sort of plot or maybe some sort of artifact that could be focused in the Bumblebee movie. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing, hit that bell, and turn on all notifications to stay updated with all my Bumblebee speculation videos. Dark Cybertron prophecy. Cybertronian legends speak of a coming apocalypse, a dire threat that will impair the citizens of Cybertron and perhaps reality of life itself. But the origins of Dark Cybertron prophecy are more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The Dark Cybertron prophecy began as a story told by Onyx Prime during the intel period of Unfaction that would later lead to the rise of the 13. Onyx's newfound storytelling skills, which included the talk of a chosen one in the Eximia, were some concern to the Alpha Trion, who wondered if he had begun to tell the tales for his own benefit. Origin myths are unknown to the Primes. Onyx was identified as assumed by Shockwave, who had been flung back in time after attempting to bring out the same prophecy. Using his foreknowledge of Cybertron history, he deliberately sowed the seeds of the legend of his younger self would one day discover the act upon it. In doing so, he incorporated clues and texts even that would include images of his own face as the dread false prophet who would unmake reality. The first one was named the Barbarian Warrior Galvatron, who was president for insignificant functions, believed that Alchemist came from the right prophecy himself. In Merchants, the prophecy would eventually record it of the Covenant of Primes. After the fall of the 13 and the rise of Nova Prime, it became interest of Nova Prime chief scientist, Jyaxis, and eventually found its way into the hands of the student, the younger Shockwave, who was inspired by the planet seeds of the self-regenerating ore that would eventually form the basis of the Regeneration Project. Shockwave, during this time as a professor at the Jyaxis Academy of Advanced Technology, Shockwave taught his closest students about the prophecy, including Scoop. Many millions of years later, following the shadow play that left the younger Shockwave a motionless husk of his former self, the Decepticon scientist turned his attention back towards the end goal of his Regenerous program. Inspired by the Dark Cybertron prophecy, he would combine the powers of the ores and collapse the reality into a single point, the Black Star, that the prophecy foretold, and provided Cybertron with enough energy to last forever in the timeless void. To becoming while imprisoned, Scoop began researching the Covenant and found evidence that seemingly suggested that Starscream, the supposed chosen one, was referred to in the prophecy. Thanks to the unlogical nature of Shockwave's time travel, the Dark Cybertron prophecy seemingly foretold many of the events over the course of the ensuing crisis. He was met by the Resistance form of Starscream, who was shocked to learn of his seeming involvement in the ancient prophecy and his onslaught, which indeed heralded by the rise of the Necro-Titan, Black Metal. Years later, Optimus Prime experienced a nightmare on Earth until the councils of the world involving the prophecy, one that seemingly cast the false prophet. In the hours before Onyx Prime returned to Cybertron, Alpha Trion noted that Scoop had been instrumental in uncovering the Dark Cybertron prophecy. Though Scoop's internal crisis of the faith led him to wonder if Starscream really was the chosen one, the surfeit of the Primes, as he minded was downloaded into a new body. Optimus Prime experienced another nightmare of the prophecy himself. So I hope you guys enjoyed the TF education of the Dark Cybertron prophecy. Now, you're probably wondering, why the Dark Cybertron prophecy? Well, the Dark Cybertron prophecy's main focus is the Regenerous Ore program. You're probably asking yourself, what is the Regenerous Ore program? Well, the Regenerous Ore program is very similar to Marvel's Infinity Gauntlet. Each ore has a special power and a special place in this. For instance, Ore 1 is time, which allows you to travel through time. Ore 2 is death, which can cause living matter to decay life. There's also gravity from cannabis, which creates the general fields. There's also cold, which can cause you to go through a hypothermia process. Change, possess a transmission of properties. Destruction, which manifests into radioactive and explodes crystals. Space, which allows you to teleport through various points in space. Deception, capable of reprogramming the minds of Cybertronians. Elona, which itself can form a crystal armor for living beings. Power itself, which boosts Transformers' capabilities. And then finally, Regeneration, from Cybertron, a planet prior to the Regenerous program, which can resurrect cities and transform. When these ores are brought together, they can cause dramatic effects. Now, the reason why I'm saying all this is that I feel this is extremely important. The reason why I feel this is extremely important is because of this photo right here. Now, if you see this photo right here, you see Shockwave leading the Seekers. Now, I'm assuming in this photo, you can kind of see, I believe that Shatter is there. I believe also you can see Shockwave, Asset Store, maybe Ramjet, and definitely Starscream I also see in there. Maybe Skywarp too, I don't know. But the point is, when you see this photo, you see Shockwave there. And Shockwave, the way he's standing, Shockwave is leading the charge. Shockwave is in power and showing some sort of leadership to the Seekers. I take it as Shockwave is actually the main villain, but not focused in this movie. I believe Blitzwing and the Seekers are doing Shockwave's bidding. Just like the comics of the Optimus Prime series, as well as the Dark Cybertron series, that Shockwave is actually the main antagonist in this. This is a stance of leadership. I think this is a very important shot. Again, I don't think Shockwave is going to be the main villain, but I think Blitzwing may do his biddings, because I take it, this is a flashback scene, and I also take it that Megatron is not here. I believe he's in Sector 7, possibly captivity, or he could be out in space searching for the Allspark, or possibly searching for these lost ores. Now, I think we all can agree that this is also the War of Cybertron. We actually are witnessing the War of Cybertron. I believe that this is going to be the first shot of the movie. Kind of how they always have a flashback scene, some little story from Optimus. We might actually see the War of Cybertron right here. But this War of Cybertron might actually focus in the beginning with Shockwave leading the charge, right? I also believe, looking at these photos and looking at this picture right here, which we're focusing on, I feel in some way that this is definitely G1, but I feel that this is IDW comic influence. Now, if they're smart, they take the roles of what Marvel is doing, right? The comics have so much stories and have so much lore where they literally can use this. And let's be honest, the business is a copycat league in the motion picture industry. We see the success of Marvel. The IDW comics are phenomenal with Transformers. The stories are incredible. And I believe that this is also some influenced as well. Travis Knight, I believe, did his homework. What better way than start with the comics, right? I believe that this whole time, Megatron is not influenced in this time, right? In this shot right here. But Shockwave is almost a tad bit more dangerous than Megatron, in my opinion. Now, hear me out. At the end of the day, Megatron will always come and fight for the common good of Cybertron. At the end of the day, he wants Cybertron to succeed. He will team up with Prime. Shockwave is a lone believer in Decepticon code, and in fact, he is a mad scientist, a dangerous scientist. I believe that this movie could be a start of some sort of cinematic universe. I would also love to see, if they go this route, why not make a Shockwave special movie by itself? Make a rated R movie of Shockwave. I doubt they do that, but can you imagine seeing the experiments of Shockwave, the darkness when he created the Autobots of the War of Cybertron? Have those type of stories. He's extremely fascinating, and he's extremely ruthless. At the end of the day, if it's not logical, it don't make sense to Shockwave. In this shot, I believe that this whole movie is going to be focused on Shockwave and Blitzwing, aka the Seekers, doing his bidding. I don't think Shockwave is going to get that much screen time at least, but I believe his message in forcing Blitzwing and the Seekers to do his bidding, and I think it's in charge of these ores. Now, this shot right here, this could be Bumblebee escaping. This could be a pod thing, but if you recall, Bumblebee was already at Earth. We don't know if this is a reboot, if we don't know if this is a standalone movie. But instead of this being some sort of space pod or, some pod of transport, what if this is actually an ore? One of the Regenius ores that Shockwave is actually trying to find that Bumblebee might actually know the secrets to. And you never know, Bumblebee, being who he is, could have got stuck to this. And actually these ores, what we just went over a little briefly, could be the actual focal point for this movie in a way for them to build a cinematic universe. Now, Bumblebee being so valuable to this, him being a scout collecting intel, maybe he was actually familiar and gained so much intel he actually knew what this Regenius ore program was, and that's why maybe his memory was wiped clean. We know Blitzwing confronts Bumblebee and says, "Where is Optimus Prime?" Optimus Prime, being one of the primes, is a big part of these Regenius ores program, which actually started from the original 13 primes. That literally, this itself is Shockwave's vision of Dark Cybertron and his prophecy, right? A thing could be why Blitzwing is also searching for is he know that Bumblebee is a scout and could provide intel to get to Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime himself could have the final ore, right? And one of the ores being the ability of time. Now, a good way to reboot this would be to use one of these orbs for time travel, change of time, change the scenery, reboot. where literally that this artifact is so important, this could change time, and this literally could be the start of them to reboot the franchise through these ores. The ability of time, in my opinion, is the most powerful, because with the change of time, you can rewrite history and reboot the franchise. But I thought that this was seen right here was focusing on Dark Cybertron. Guys, thank you so much for voting Twitter. The reason why I did this Dark Cybertron prophecy was because I had you guys decide on my Twitter and voted which video if you want to see. If you want to see a trailer breakdown or if you wanted to see a speculation video. So what I decided to do is I'm going to create a bunch of short videos and tying the trailer breakdown. That way we can kind of build the channel and I can provide you guys with more content and everything. So yes, I believe that this possibly, it's a long shot, but what if the Dark Cybertron prophecy is the new focus for the Bumblebee movie? But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that possibly the Dark Cybertron prophecy could be the new focus? Do you think it could be something else? What is Shockwave's purpose? Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing and turn on all notifications. And don't forget to like and share this video. That way you can stay up to date with all my Bumblebee speculation, spoilers, news, and all that good stuff. To my subscribers, I love you guys so much. This is LPS here to bring you another Bumblebee speculation. Peace.